When is the right time to tell the dog that it was adopted? My dog is biological, so I don't know. Never watched the Anime but edition. What? Oh no, I'm having some bad flashbacks from this comment. Whenever I see a dog with extremely long fur, I get reminded of that scene. I don't think it's necessary unless the dog starts asking questions and wondering. Some have a strong desire to try and find their biological parents, but many more are content to just enjoy their family and their environment. Oh, and licking their ass too. Bark, bark, woof, woof. I've never told him and never will. I've been implanting memories in him by telling him all about when I was pregnant with him. How I had hoped I'd be having a puppy, and the muffled woofs we would hear while waiting for the special day. Strange. I had a no lying policy with my actual children, but I'll lie to my dog at the drop of a hat. It's okay. You are allowed to treat them differently. Lying to your children can make a poor relationship. That's not good. However, lying to your dog can make a poor relationship. Now I don't know what that is, but it sounds super cute. You can't have any of this steak. It has chocolate in it. This cheesecake tastes exactly like lettuce and broccoli. I got it for traditional dessert reasons. I will have to eat it all soon, before it gets forgotten in the fridge. My dogs think it's crack. They love cheesecake. Tell them when they are mature. Tell them sit, and once they are seated, tell them politely, with a treat in hand, you were adopted. It is an important step when raising a dog. If they eat the treat, you know they are okay with it. My poor boy cried and yelped for 10 minutes when I told him. Did he eat the treat though? We threw him an adoption day party every year with Clifford decorations, presents, treats and a cake from 3 Dog Bakery. We invited all his doggy and people friends. He knew. We made a real special wish, and you came true. This is the most adorable thing I've heard. Rascal was an excellent dog. Through and through. I miss him dearly. Mine already knew by the time I got him home, and he'd gotten used to his new abode. He was already old enough to understand that he was in an orphanage, and he was in there a while by the time I arrived. It took him time to adjust, but he's happy. This is literally the cutest comment on this thread. This is literally the cutest comment on this thread. This is literally the cutest comment on this thread. No more. Folks, I'm halting it right here. We haven't told our cat yet, but I think he's starting to suspect. PFTT, I'm pretty sure cats think that they're gods, and it's morely likely that they've adopted you. Oh, absolutely. I love cats. BTW. They move in, and then they say, I will graciously allow you to continue to live in my domicile, apostrophe. And when I meow, I should be fed, even if I just ate. you. When they start asking. My newest is almost 2, and honestly I think it would crush her to know she's adopted. Thankfully we are so much alike that it's not too obvious. Maybe it's the wrong choice, and I'm being deceptive, but I'm never going to tell her. I just don't have it in me to broach that subject. Although I'm very male, I do believe she believes that I birthed her all on my own, and I'm going to keep it that way. You sir are setting your dog up to be traumatized and will have lingering anger / resentment / abandonment issues, and who knows what else. No offense. Tell her. Now, listen to some stories of adoptees. It's heartbreaking to be lied to for decades. It's not love. It's not protection. Don't disguise it as love either. The only thing it can be called is manipulation. All a competent parent needs to do is talk to their adopted puppy and continue to build on it as they grow. It's like building a house. Lay the foundation first. Always be honest and truthful in developmentally appropriate increments. Seriously, it's not that hard. Have some pride and love, not deceit and shame. It'll keep her in the family without blame or games. It's manipulation, control and oppression of a dog's identity. When you say you will never tell her, they are entitled to their origins and medical history just as much as anyone else in this world. If you think otherwise, you're selfish and misguided. Lying to your dog was for your best interest, not hers. If you think the truth will change the relationship you have with your puppy, then wait until you see it get obliterated by the fact that you deliberately kept the truth from her. When he's old enough to know who's a good boy, no one's a good boy in this hellscape. I just sat him down and told him. He seems to be taking it pretty well. He just kept trying to get pets from my mom. Maybe that means the dog thinks you are the adopted one. When he falls in love with the cat and you feel that it's your duty to tell them they're not biologically related. White step bro. Never. Why tell him? His real parents didn't want him. And he's supposed to do what? Most probably do want them though. Start around the age of 7 in dog years, using simple terms that pups can understand. As they grow, you can go into more detail and use a more mature vocabulary. You absolutely want them to know as soon as possible for a number of medical reasons. For example, that you will be an unlikely match for a bone marrow transplant. When she's being a bitch, so the females then. You should probably wait until he finishes college. Told my dog she was adopted when she peed on my bed. She probably thinks you just made it up because you were angry. When they ask why he has different colored eyes, I was actually about to sit him down and tell him. Will inform on his reaction. Edit. He was rather quiet about it. He sniffed me then went off and ate. I think he will be fine. I like how everyone in this thread is dead serious. Because it is serious. So you are right. Well done. These are our children we are talking about. I still haven't told mine even after other 3rd graders made fun of him. You are setting your dog up to be traumatized and will have lingering issues and who knows what else. No offense. Tell him. Now, listen to some stories of adoptees. It's heartbreaking to be lied to for decades. It's not love. It's not protection. Don't disguise it as love either. The only thing it can be called is manipulation. All a competent parent needs to do is talk to their adopted puppy and continue to build on it as they grow. It's like building a house. Lay the foundation first. Always be honest and truthful in developmentally appropriate increments. Seriously, it's not that hard. Have some pride and love, not deceit and shame. It'll keep him in the family without blame or games. It's manipulation. Control and oppression of a dog's identity when parents deliberately do this. They are entitled to their origins and medical history just as much as anyone else in this world. If you think otherwise, you're selfish and misguided. Lying to your dog was for your best interest, not his. Well, my dog is a schnauzer, so if he stays asking, I have the old I don't speak German excuse. Distraction with WWI and WWII discussions. Confusion works, they eventually learn not to ask. When you sign the paperwork making the adoption official, make it a happy event. Never. Doggo will just spend its whole life thinking eventually he'll grow up into a people. Never. Before he starts asking about the disappearance of his balls. Where are my balls, Summer? When you adopt him. Never. That's evil. I really hope my dog doesn't remember anything before I adopted him. He was a stray in Los Angeles and was picked up with multiple BBs embedded under the skin on his head/torso, and he was super underweight, and I'm just gonna continue to let him believe he's lived his whole life in a house with a bunch of comfortable beds, 2 meals a day, and too many treats, and all the toys he could ever want.